So, dude, how you doing?
I don't know. I have a lobster now.
From a date?
I have a lobster now.
This is Steven Universe.
No, it's not. This is Gravity Falls episode 4, The Hand That Rocks the Mabel. Alright, so in this episode, we meet a new character, Gideon Gleeful, who is basically the mortal enemy of Stan Pines.
This is a magic sack. It makes your money disappear.
It's a cloud pillow. Now back to the episode.
It worked!
For tonight's final illusion, we have the incredible Sack of Mystery. When you put your money in, it mysteriously disappears.
Oh, of course.
That makes perfect sense. What a nice man.
That was totally worth the drive.
Funny episode. For it being only the 4th episode, it was actually... Gravity Falls always has really funny jokes, but... like I said... in the last episode, well, here's the difference. The last episode was mainly helping you get into the show. Now this episode helps continue the show. And it does it in a really big way. Like, the very first time I saw this episode, let's be honest, who didn't freak out when, at the end, when they realized...
Yeah, when Gideon had the second journal.
I was like, ah! Like that.
And I decided to keep a journal. Sorry.
Ah!
Sorry, spoiler. Okay, moving on.
Watch, like, a bunch of you are gonna be angrily commenting, being like, too far, too far!
So in this episode, we see a new character. We see a lot of comedy development, and one of my favorite scenes in cartoon history, where Stan is like, "Oh, I'm going over to Gideon's house right now to confront him about him dating Mabel." Then he slams the door, and then in every cartoon, even in SpongeBob, you see the character opens the door, walks out, is like, don't say anything, and then they go out a new door. But in this episode, Seuss was like, wouldn't it be funny if he came out if that was a closet and he had to come back out, walk out the real door? Nope, real door. Like, they made fun of cartoons who do that, and that was like my favorite moment in cartoon history ever.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, we're not saying that we dislike any of those moments. Sometimes a show can do a really great job with that joke, but the fact that that joke does tend to be a bit overplayed. It's funny how this show changes it up a bit and turns it into, like, a joke of itself.
Dude, wouldn't it be funny if that was a closet and he had to come back out again and walk out the real door? Nope, real door.
And that's really clever. It's not something I see in a lot of shows, especially kids shows. But yeah, another thing is, like you said, we are introduced to Gideon, and we're also introduced to his location, which is the Tent of Telepathy. And pretty much, like Dipper says, it's a really crazy, bizarro version
of the Mystery Shack.
And it's crazy because they put little details everywhere that... It really is. Like, first off, it's not a shack, it's a tent. And then, another thing is the fact that, well, obviously it's more fancy. That's one thing.
Both Stan and Buddy Gleeful did the psychic sack. Well, like, the sack that you put your money in and it mysteriously disappeared.
And the exact same guy, if you pay attention, is the one to say, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, the same guy.
And then,
that makes perfect sense.
Yes, and then, they also have their own Zeus named Deuce. I'm like... Okay. I wonder if he's Hispanic.
Probably.
Step right up there, folks. Put your money in Gideon's psychic sack. Only one thin dime down. That makes perfect sense.
Whoa, this is like a bizarro version of the Mystery Shack. They even have their own Seuss.
Another thing is the whole fact that they both go for the mystery element, where the Mystery Shack and then Tent of Telepathy, they all go for the supernatural. Really cool, very interesting. And so pretty much throughout the episode, Gideon has a thing for Mabel. He peer pressures her into going to a bunch of dates with him. She feels uncomfortable, but is too nice to say anything, so Dipper breaks up with him for her. He gets ticked off, reveals he has superpowers, and then uses those powers to try to kill Dipper. Mabel finally gets courage and breaks up with him herself.
Moral of the story, don't get peer pressured to do anything.
Give me money. See? Peer pressure. Yeah, that's actually one thing I really enjoy, because especially with it being a Disney show, one thing that most of these shows tend to do is when they give you a message or a moral, it does a really good job at just, well, with this show at least, it does a good job with giving you the message. But no, in all the other shows, it just hammers it down, saying like, this is the lesson, this is the lesson, this is the lesson. But no, it gives it more of a subtle sense. It is kind of hammering down, because again, throughout the entire show, Mabel is peer pressured into this stuff, but at the same time, the way she finally figures it out, it is clever and useful, and it's just different from other shows, and it's good. I like that. Also, one thing I really do enjoy in the very first part of the episode was that whole tiger fist joke.
The tiger was badly injured in the explosion, but we repaired him with a fist.
Whoa! The tiger is a hero!
Tiger fist!
It's like, tiger fist. It is like, what were these guys on when they first made this episode? It's like, they just put a fist on a tiger. It's like, and it's just odd. What are you doing? She's staring at me creepy. I'm scared. One thing, if you guys notice, is during that song that Gideon is doing. By the way, I love that song. Super catchy. Really fun. Honestly, it's one of the few musical numbers we really have in this show.
Oh, I can see what others can't see. It ain't some sideshow trick, it's an innate ability. Where others are blind, I am futurely inclined. And you too could see if you was whittle on me.
And it is catchy. I don't care what people say about Gideon or anything like that. No, that is a catchy song, and I love it. It's a great way to introduce actually one of the few good villains that I've been seeing so far in animated shows these days. So it's honestly, it's just really nice.
Gideon's
I like it.
a pathetic villain. What are you talking about?
No, believe it, in my opinion, he's actually a pretty good villain.
It's all about the Bill Cipher.
Wow, thanks. You just made a bunch of fans comment angrily again. That's twice in one video. With Gideon, I do like it that he's a good combination of entertaining and intimidating.
No, he's not.
No, intimidating in the sense where it's like, okay, he had his powers. At the end of the episode, he loses those powers because Mabel destroys the thing. But it's like, you know what he is? He's the Loki of Gravity Falls. If you think of Loki from Avengers.
What drugs are you on?
It makes sense, because Loki is just as pathetic, and yet he's still a good villain, oddly enough.
Loki's a good villain because he's a good villain.
Yeah, but he's not exactly threatening. I mean, except for that one Avengers movie, but that was the aliens, not him. But, yeah, I don't know. We all have our own opinions.
Enough! You are all of you beneath me. I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
Puny god.
One other joke that I did like was that joke where Mabel and Dipper were having a conversation, And she's like, you and Zeus get to do all these stuff together. It's like, no, we don't. Hey, dude, you want to go blow up some hot dogs in a microwave or something like that? And he's like, oh, do I? And they just go off. And I'm like, let's be honest, who hasn't done that at one point in their life?
Never want to do girly stuff with me. You and Zeus get to do boy stuff all the time.
What do you mean?
Hey, dude, you ready to blow up these hot dogs in the microwave one by one?
Am I? One at a time. One at a time.
And welcome back.
I'm gonna successfully bezazzle your face. Just keep talking. Keep talking.
I'm not sure what to say about this. One question, why did they let a horse inside a restaurant? That's odd. And also that fact that when Stan finds out about Mabel and Gideon, he changed super fast. Like, how? I mean, cartoon logic, I guess, but still. And why are you doing this?
I don't have bezazzlers, so I'm using markers instead. Just keep talking.
It still doesn't show why this is a good idea.
Oh, it's not.
So Stan went to jail in Colombia at one point, apparently.
Don't know why. And so far, without spoiling anything, it's not told why he went to jail in Colombia.
No more Colombian nights.
Now you spoiled something for the viewers.
Yes, but they're not going to get it until they actually see the episode.
Yeah, just like with Bill Cipher, they're not going to get it until they see the actual episode.
Yes, but I'm me.
This is why your face is getting bezazzled.
Also, one thing that I do have to give props to Gideon, though. One thing that everyone, even you, has to give props to. He did the impossible. He did the impossible this episode. And can I look at the camera for this? He freaking escaped the one place no one can ever escape. He escaped the friend zone. And for that, he has my respect.
I have no way out.
What in the heck happened on that date?
I don't know. I was in the friend zone. And then before I knew what was happening, he pulled me into the romance zone.
Yeah, he escaped the friend zone and then didn't become a friend at all. He became an enemy.
Even so, he escaped the friend zone, and it smells so weird. For any of you guys there who is like had a dream of escaping the friend zone, now we know it is possible. If you play your cards right, you will escape it.
You could become an enemy of the girl you like.
Yes, but if you don't do anything stupid, then you can stay out of it. I have hope!
Your face is bezazzled.
Ow. One other thing is I love the kind of girl-to-girl talk between Wendy and Mabel.
How's that hair tasting, buddy?
Wendy, I need some advice. You've broken up with guys, right?
Oh, yeah. Russ Durham, Eli Hall, Stoney Davidson.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I thought everything was back to normal, but I still feel all gross.
Mike Worley, Nate Holt, the guy with the tattoos.
Maybe letting Dipper do it for me was a mistake. Gideon deserves an honest breakup.
Danny Feldman, Mark Epstein. Oh, man, I'm not sure I ever actually broke up with him. No wonder he keeps calling me.
I know what I gotta do. Thanks for talking to me, Wendy.
Ignore.
Yeah, it was more like Mabel was pouring her heart out, and Wendy was just labeling a bunch of guys she broke up with.
I really want to meet at least one of these guys.
Yo, Wendy, one of those guys that Wendy said she broke up with, she says that guy with the tattoos. Is she talking about that big black guy with the tattoos all over his body with like forehead, neck, chin, like, you know that guy?
Yeah, he was...
Did Wendy date that guy? Or someone else with tattoos?
I'm curious. Like,
Works for me.
Yeah, that guy with the tattoos.
That must have been... Maybe she was experimenting. Maybe she was just... She had a thing. I don't know.
But there's gotta be a big age gap. Like, my goodness.
It's gotta be a big everything. Like, a big everything. I don't even know how we're... I don't know how that works. If it was him, I have so many questions to Alex Hirsch. One other thing is the continuity in this episode brought from the other episode was really cool. Like the fact that they brought Toby from the last episode into this episode, and Deborah's like, "Oh, sorry for
accusing you of murder last week."
Yeah, that was great. It was like, "Oh, okay, so that okay."
And then
at least it shows continuity.
And then he gets Chandra Jimenez's phone number.
Hello? Toby determined Gravity Falls gossiper.
Oh, hey, man. Sorry for accusing you of murder last week.
Water under the bridge. Say, we want to interview you about whether you've seen anything unusual in this here town since you've arrived.
Oh, finally! I thought nobody would ever ask. I have notes and theories. 412 Gopher Road. Tonight? Got it.
There. I did your dirty work. Now it's time to pay your end of the bargain. Chandra Jimenez's phone number. Bless you, Lil Gideon.
Chandra Jimenez. I'm still creeped out by that guy.
Who isn't creeped out by that guy?
Like,
and just his face alone, like that is like the ugliest cartoon character I have ever seen.
Now, if you saw my other vlog, you'll see that I had this one thought that it's like, did Alex Hirsch base that off of someone he knew at one point? Like, was it based off a character?
It's a possibility.
Alex, if you're parroting someone, I feel so bad for them.
Well, Bill Cipher was a parody of someone he knew, but I'm not gonna get more into that. I'll just be quiet now because Bill isn't until Dreamscapers. You can't bedazzle your hand if you do that again.
Too much bedazzling.
Bezzazzling.
Bezzazzle dazzle.
No, it's bezzazzle.
Bedazzle zazzle.
No.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Hands getting bezzazzled.
Okay. Also, you notice how during the fight between Gideon and Dipper that the product placements they had.
Yeah, blunt object. What was that blunt object?
I mean, he has to be getting his money from somewhere.
Who's a cute little guy? You are.
Now you are.
She's never gonna date you, man!
That's a lie. And I'm gonna make sure you never lie to me again, friend.
I don't know. He just has a bunch of products that he uses, like the shears and the...
Yeah, who buys stuff like that?
Farmers? Also, Mabel the Goddess!
Yeah, Mabel the Goddess.
Mabel the Goddess! It's been confirmed! We all bow down and pray to Mabel. She's our new Lord and Savior. The secret message of this episode is, Carla, why won't you call me?
Now, if you don't know about that, pay close attention at the very beginning of the episode where they're showing the Gideon commercial. If you listen carefully, you remember when that fast voice just talks and you're like, what? Like, because usually people talk that fast when they're labeling the side effects of a medicine. But in this episode, if you listen, it says, void where prohibited, COD's not accepted, Carla, I've always loved you, but never had the guts to say it.
Void where prohibited, no CODs accepted. Carla, I've always loved you, but I've never had the guts to say it.
Who's Carla?
I have no idea.
I want that to come back.
Yeah, maybe like Alex had like a secret crush on a girl named Carla or something. Or one of his friends, or Carla's one of his friends, or like someone who died and he's honoring that. I don't know who Carla is.
All I know is
and I don't know who loved Carla. I don't know. Maybe Buddy secretly loved Carla.
I think it was Buddy.
Yeah.
Because he was the one that did that commercial. Now I can see a bunch of people just doing fan fictions of Alex and Carla, whoever it is. Oh god, that's gonna be a dark day. That was the episode. Great episode. Fun. We got to learn a bit more about Gravity Falls itself and the fact that now we know there are 2 journals.
We've always known there were 3 journals because Dipper has the number 3. Unless it's that high school prank where you get the 2 pigs, label them 1 and 3, and look for the second, but never find it. Like,
that would have been great.
Unless the author was doing that, which I highly doubt, there are 3 journals, which we've known.
Could be more.
That's also a possibility.
Yeah. So, any thoughts?
I don't think there are more journals. There's only 3.
She bedazzled me.
Yes. I don't have real gems, so I use markers.
Bedazzle the lobster next.
No, my lobster!
You wish your son would call you more.
I'm leaving everything to my cats.
I sense that you've been here before.
What gave it away?
Come on, I'll read your mind if I'm able. Something tells me your name, Mabel.
How'd he do that?
So welcome all ye to the tent of telepathy. And thanks for visiting.
You're done?
Not yet.
How about now?
Almost. And there.
Let's do this.
You're all fired.